The air was crisp, leaves crunched underfoot, creating a symphony of autumn sounds that echoed through the quiet streets. The aroma of pumpkin pie wafted from every window, mingling with the scent of roasted turkey and spiced apple cider, creating an irresistible invitation to all who passed by. It was Thanksgiving Day in the quaint town of Maplewood, a place where traditions ran deep and the community came together to celebrate the season of gratitude. The Carter family home buzzed with laughter and chatter, a hive of activity as relatives arrived, each bringing their own special dish to add to the feast. Relatives near and far gathered around overflowing tables, their faces alight with joy and anticipation for the meal ahead. Children, fueled by excitement and apple cider, raced through the house, their laughter ringing out like bells, adding to the festive atmosphere. 7-year-old Emily Carter, a whirlwind of energy with bright, curious eyes, was the heart of the celebration, her presence a beacon of joy. Dressed in a red velvet dress, she charmed everyone with her infectious laughter, her spirit as vibrant as the autumn leaves outside. Emily flitted from one relative to another, her tiny hands clutching a worn teddy bear, a constant companion in her adventures. She was a ray of sunshine, her presence warming the hearts of everyone around her, spreading joy with every step she took. Dinner was a joyous affair, a symphony of clinking glasses, shared stories, and hearty laughter that filled the room. Stories were shared, laughter echoed, and a palpable sense of love filled the air, binding everyone together in a moment of pure happiness. As dusk settled and the sky turned a fiery orange, the children, including Emily, were ushered outside to play hide-and-seek in the backyard, their excitement palpable. Their excited shrieks punctuated the quiet hum of adult conversation indoors, a reminder of the simple joys of childhood. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the yard, a chilling silence fell, an eerie contrast to the earlier merriment. One by one, the children emerged from their hiding spots, breathless and giggling, all except Emily. The adults, initially unconcerned, soon felt a growing sense of unease as they called out her name, their voices tinged with worry. The search began in earnest, with flashlights cutting through the gathering darkness, illuminating every nook and cranny of the yard. The once joyous atmosphere was now heavy with tension, each passing moment amplifying the fear that something was terribly wrong. Emily's parents, their hearts pounding, led the search, their minds racing with possibilities. The community, bound by their shared concern, joined in, their collective hope driving them forward. As the minutes turned into an hour, the realization that Emily was truly missing settled in, casting a shadow over what had been a perfect day. The night stretched on, the search continuing with unwavering determination, every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs raising hopes that were quickly dashed. The town of Maplewood, united in their love for Emily, refused to give up, their resolve a testament to the strength of their community. This Thanksgiving, once filled with joy and laughter, would indeed be one to remember, but for reasons no one could have foreseen. Panic, sharp and sudden, gripped the Carter household. Emily was gone. Her teddy bear lay abandoned near the old oak tree, a silent witness to her disappearance. Frantic calls were made. Neighbors, their faces etched with concern, joined the search. The festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a chilling fear that seeped into every corner of the house. "She was just here, playing with the others," Emily's mother, Sarah, cried, her voice cracking with terror. One minute she was there, the next, gone. Her words echoed the chilling reality that had gripped their lives. Emily, their precious daughter, had vanished without a trace. The police arrived, their faces grim. The festive decorations and the lingering aroma of Thanksgiving dinner seemed at odds with the grim reality that had descended upon the Carter family. Questions were asked, statements taken, but the mystery only deepened with each passing hour. The search expanded beyond the Carter property. Flashlights cut through the darkness as neighbors, their faces etched with worry, combed through backyards, parks, and the nearby woods. Every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig ignited a flicker of hope, only to be extinguished by the crushing realization of Emily's absence. Days turned into a blur of agonizing searches and desperate pleas. The Carters, along with friends, family, and even strangers, scoured every inch of the woods and the suburban neighborhood. Each day began with a glimmer of hope and ended with the crushing weight of disappointment. The community was relentless, driven by the shared goal of bringing Emily back home. The local news picked up the story, and soon Emily's smiling face was plastered on television screens across the state. The media coverage brought a wave of attention, with reporters camped outside the Carter home and news vans lining the streets. The story of a missing child touched the hearts of many, and the public's response was overwhelming. The community rallied around the Carters, organizing search parties, putting up missing posters, and holding candlelight vigils. Volunteers from neighboring towns joined the efforts, and local businesses donated supplies. The sense of unity was palpable as everyone came together with a singular purpose. The candlelight vigils held nightly became a symbol of hope and solidarity. The police followed every lead, no matter how insignificant it seemed. They worked tirelessly, combing through evidence and interviewing anyone who might have seen or heard something. The detectives were determined, leaving no stone unturned in their quest for answers. The pressure was immense, but they remained steadfast in their mission. They interviewed neighbors, classmates, even the ice cream vendor who frequented the park where Emily often played. Each interview brought a mix of hope and frustration, as leads were followed and then dismissed. The community's cooperation was unwavering, with everyone eager to help in any way they could. Every passing car, every unfamiliar face in town, was viewed with suspicion. The once peaceful streets of Maplewood were now filled with an undercurrent of fear and anxiety. Parents held their children a little tighter, and neighbors kept a watchful eye on each other. Yet, despite the heightened vigilance, Emily remained missing. "We just want her back," John Carter, Emily's father, pleaded at a press conference, his voice choked with emotion. His eyes, red from sleepless nights and endless tears, reflected the pain of a parent's worst nightmare. The press conference was a heart-wrenching display of raw emotion, as John's words echoed the desperation felt by the entire community. "Someone out there knows something. Please, if you have any information, come forward." His plea was a cry for help, a desperate attempt to reach anyone who might hold the key to finding Emily. The community listened, their hearts breaking for the Carter family, and their resolve to find Emily growing stronger. His words, raw with anguish, resonated with the community. The collective grief and determination were palpable, as people clung to the hope that Emily would be found. The town of Maplewood, once a quiet and serene place, was now united in a shared mission, driven by the love and concern for one of their own. Hope, though dwindling, was kept alive by the unwavering support and determination of the people of Maplewood. The community spirit was unbreakable as they continued to search, pray, and support the Carters. Each day brought new challenges, but also new opportunities to find Emily. The investigation continued, but the trail was growing colder with each passing day. The detectives worked late into the night, reviewing evidence and following up on tips. The search efforts expanded, with new areas being explored and new strategies being implemented. The sense of urgency was ever present as time seemed to slip away. The lack of concrete leads fueled a growing sense of despair. Frustration and exhaustion began to take their toll, but the community refused to give up. The Carters, though weary, remained hopeful, drawing strength from the support of those around them. The search for Emily had become a collective effort, a testament to the power of community and the resilience of the human spirit. The festive decorations that still adorned the town square now seemed like a cruel reminder of the joy that had been stolen from the Carter family and the entire community. The once cheerful lights and decorations now cast long shadows, a stark contrast to the somber mood that had settled over Maplewood. The holidays, a time usually filled with laughter and celebration, were now marked by a profound sense of loss and longing. Yet, amidst the sorrow, the community's resolve remained unshaken, as they continued to hold on to the hope that Emily would be found and brought back home. As days turned into nights and hope began to dwindle, whispers replaced the initial shock. The once vibrant and bustling town of Maplewood was now shrouded in a veil of uncertainty and fear. The disappearance of young Emily Carter had left an indelible mark on the community, and as the days passed, the initial shock gave way to a torrent of speculation and rumor. Theories, some plausible, others bordering on the absurd, spread through the town like wildfire. Had Emily wandered off? Was she hiding somewhere, scared and alone, or was there something more sinister at play? The townspeople, desperate for answers, clung to any piece of information, no matter how far-fetched it seemed. Was this the work of a stranger? The idea that someone from outside their close-knit community could be responsible sent shivers down their spines. The image of a shadowy figure lurking in the park or an unknown person in a hoodie became a recurring nightmare for many. The lack of answers only fueled the growing sense of unease. Parents held their children a little tighter, and the once lively playgrounds now stood eerily silent. The Carters, Emily's family, were consumed by a mix of hope and despair, their faces etched with worry and exhaustion. Then, a potential break in the case emerged. The police, who had been working tirelessly, finally had a lead that could potentially unravel the mystery. The community's collective breath was held as they awaited any news that could bring Emily back home. Several witnesses reported seeing a white van parked near the Carter residence on the afternoon of Emily's disappearance. This sighting, though seemingly insignificant at first, quickly became the focal point of the investigation. The white van, an ordinary vehicle, now held the key to unlocking the mystery. The descriptions of the van varied, as did the accounts of its occupants. Some described a lone driver, while others mentioned seeing multiple people inside. The sketch artist worked tirelessly, trying to piece together the fragmented memories of the witnesses. But the recurring detail of the white van became a focal point of the investigation. Detectives pored over every clue, every piece of evidence, hoping to find a thread that would lead them to Emily. The whiteboard in the investigation room was filled with notes, pictures, and theories, all centered around the elusive van. Adding to the mystery, a set of muddy footprints too large to belong to a child were found near the old oak tree in the Carters' backyard. These footprints, leading away from the house, suggested that someone had been there, someone who didn't belong. The footprints led to the edge of the woods bordering the property, then disappeared into the undergrowth. Speculation ran rampant. Was Emily taken? The dense woods, with its thick undergrowth and hidden paths, became a symbol of the unknown, a place where answers might be found or where more questions would arise. And if so, who was behind her disappearance? The Carters, along with the entire town, were left grappling with this haunting question. The detectives brainstormed tirelessly, piecing together every bit of information, every clue, in their relentless pursuit of the truth. The police pursued every lead, but the white van sightings proved elusive, and the muddy footprints yielded no conclusive evidence. The frustration was palpable as each promising lead seemed to dissolve into thin air, leaving the investigators back at square one. The mystery of Emily's disappearance deepened, casting a long shadow over the once peaceful town of Maplewood. The streets, once filled with laughter and chatter, now echoed with a somber silence. The cloudy skies seemed to mirror the town's collective grief and uncertainty. The festive spirit of Thanksgiving was replaced by a collective anxiety that hung heavy in the air. Families gathered, but the usual joy and warmth were overshadowed by the lingering fear and sadness. The empty seat at the Carters' table was a stark reminder of the void left by Emily's absence, a void that the entire community felt deeply,